You're hurting me! Stop resisting immediately! I want her arrested right now!
Move. You're blocking the premium lane, and obviously you don't belong here. The sentence slices through the airport lounge like a blade, sharp enough to make nearby passengers flinch. Selene Armitage, 41, pale-skinned, platinum blonde, diamond-hard eyes, steps forward with the swagger of a woman accustomed to owning every room she enters. Her voice drips with ridicule, the rehearsed kind, the kind she uses to remind the world she is richer, louder, and crueler than most people can endure. She looks Maya up and down, eyes narrowing on the simple black sweater, the worn leather tote, the quiet posture. I swear, every airport is turning into a charity shelter for strays. Her lips curl. Where did you even crawl in from? The cleaning staff hallway? Maya Brooks, 45, black, warm brown skin, soft, natural curls pinned back, stands motionless. She had come here incognito. No designer clothes, no assistants, no glossy corporate armor, just herself, her patience, and a quiet silver badge hidden in her pocket. Selene steps closer, lifting her chin. Oh, don't look at me like that. You know exactly what I'm saying. Premium lounges aren't for wanderers, or whatever you are. The humiliation is instant, public, and sharp. Passengers glance, then pretend not to see. Staff hover, intimidated by Selene's billionaire influence. Her empire touches several luxury brands in the same airport. People here know better than to challenge her. Maya exhales softly. She didn't expect the conflict to begin this quickly, but this is why she comes undercover, to see the world unfiltered, to witness how people behave when they believe power is on their side. Selene circles her like a predator inspecting prey. You're standing in the priority lane as if you earned it. Sweetheart, this lane costs more than whatever's in that sad little bag of yours. Her entourage laughs behind her, 3 younger assistants who mimic her cruelty to survive her employment. One lifts a phone and begins recording. No, keep filming, Selene commands. People need to see what happens when someone tries to sneak into the life they'll never afford. Let's get her little moment of delusion. Maya's expression remains steady, but internally she feels the sting, not because of Selene's words, but because everyone around them chooses silence. A lounge attendant approaches timidly. Ma'am, if you don't have the required credentials, we'll need to... Selene cuts her off. Oh, please, stop pretending she has credentials. She looks like she delivers the food here, not eats it. A wave of discomfort ripples across the lounge. Maya meets Selene's gaze, not with anger, but with a calm so still it unnerves people who mistake silence for weakness. In that stillness, a verse she memorized long ago rises gently in her thoughts. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still. Exodus 14:14. She lets it settle into her breathing. Selene mistakes the calm for submission. She smirks, triumphant. Escort her out. Priority lanes are for people with actual value. She's clearly in the wrong universe. The attendants hesitate only briefly before moving toward Maya. The lounge has seen versions of this scene before. Few challenge Selene. Her money buys influence, and influence buys silence. Maya nods politely, allowing the escort to begin guiding her aside. Not because she accepts the insult, but because she knows every injustice reveals itself fully only when allowed to play out. As they walk, Selene calls after her, voice ringing through the room. Next time, sweetheart, look for the sign that says General Admission, or maybe the staff entrance. You'd blend better. Laughter follows, brittle, cowardly, complicit. Maya does not turn. She keeps her hand gently closed around the silver badge in her pocket, the unassuming object that holds Crimson Access, one of the rarest clearances in global aviation. A clearance Selene has never even heard of, a clearance that will soon flip every assumption in this room upside down. As they near the exit, Selene calls out one final jab. Honestly, airports shouldn't make people like you feel this comfortable. It gives you the wrong idea. This time, Maya does turn, slowly, meeting Selene's eyes with a gaze so steady that for a fraction of a second, Selene's confidence falters. Just a flicker, but enough to signal that the story has not ended, only begun. Maya speaks softly, her voice almost gentle. "Are you certain you understand who doesn't belong?" A few heads lift. It is not a threat. It's a question, a mirror, quietly placed before a woman who has never faced one. Selene scoffs loudly, masking her unease. "Oh, darling, I know exactly who belongs and who doesn't. And you?" She snaps her fingers. "You're nobody." Maya offers no argument. Because soon, the entire airport will answer that question for Selene. If you have ever felt underestimated, dismissed, or pushed aside by someone who thought they were above you, then what happens next with Maya Brooks will make you breathe deep and whisper, "Justice is coming." Don't forget to like and subscribe and stay with Dignity Voices to follow her journey. What Selene doesn't know is that the woman she just humiliated owns half the skies she travels on, and the first crack in her empire begins in the next scene. The lounge doors close behind Maya with a muted hiss, but Selene Armitage's voice carries through the glass as if the air itself resists letting her cruelty go unheard. Honestly, what is this airport turning into? Next, they'll be letting anyone breathe the same oxygen as premium members. Inside, she adjusts her designer coat with a flourish, an emerald cashmere piece custom-made to announce wealth before she ever speaks. Her heels click sharply on the marble floor, each strike a reminder that she has spent a lifetime crushing anything beneath her without consequence. Yet for a moment, just a flicker, she feels the weight of Maya's final gaze from scene one, and she hates it. She hates that it unsettled her. So she doubles down. "Send someone to disinfect that seat she touched," she snaps at a passing attendant. The young man freezes, unsure whether she's serious. She is. Selene rolls her eyes dramatically. God forbid someone thinks this lounge is open to whoever wanders in. Her entourage laughs on cue. They have learned that her approval is their paycheck and her cruelty is their script. Meanwhile, outside the lounge, Maya is not far. The attendants guiding her away move slowly, whispering awkward apologies, the kind that reveal their fear of Selene more than compassion for Maya. "I'm sorry, ma'am," one murmurs. "Selene Armitage. She has influence here. If we don't follow her instructions, she punishes staff." Maya nods gently. "I understand." And she does. She has seen this kind of culture infect companies before, the kind where power is confused with permission. The hallway opens into a quieter concourse. Planes glow beyond tall windows, city lights flickering in the distance like a constellation of promises. Even now, Maya feels no anger rising, only clarity. Every step under disguise reveals truth, not about herself, but about the world built around privilege. Inside the lounge, Selene continues her performance. She moves toward the bar, heels slicing the silence, her tone dripping venomous sarcasm. "Imagine thinking those clothes could fool anyone into believing she belongs here. A sweater from the clearance rack and a bag that looks like it's survived a war." One entourage member snorts. Maybe she thought she'd blend in if she didn't look directly at anyone. Selene smirks. People like that always think they can sneak into the upper decks of life. Delusion, really. Her personal assistant, a timid woman named Corinne, shifts uncomfortably. She glances toward the lounge exit, where Maya disappears from view, and asks quietly, "Do you think maybe she—" Selene cuts her off instantly. "Corinne, if you finish that sentence, I'll replace you before your next paycheck clears." Corinne lowers her eyes. Selene continues, voice rising enough for everyone to hear. "You know what the problem is? Standards. This airport used to have them. Now anyone with a pulse thinks they're entitled to premium treatment." Her words land like strikes on the floor, loud, sharp, unapologetic. Across the room, a few business travelers exchange uneasy glances. Some disagree silently, others are embarrassed, but none speak. Selene's wealth casts a shadow too large for casual resistance. One older man leans toward his wife and whispers, "She shouldn't have spoken to that woman like that." His wife nods, but no one here will stop her. Selene overhears and smiles, predatory. "If you have something to say it loudly. I love when commoners pretend to be brave. It's adorable." They look away quickly. Selene feels revived by the fear. She signals her assistant. "Corinne, check the priority manifest. I want to know who that woman thought she was trying to imitate. Find her name, or whatever alias she used." Corinne types nervously on her tablet. There's no one on the list matching her description. Selene scoffs. "Of course not. She's nobody. If she were someone, I'd know. Powerful people know each other. We move in the same air. That woman? She moves in the economy section of life." The lounge chuckles nervously. A gate agent approaches, bowing slightly. "Ms. Armitage, your aircraft is delayed for 40 minutes. We're preparing an alternate route." Selene waves her hand dismissively. "Fix it. I'm not interested in your problems. The world bends for those who know how to push it." The agent nods and retreats quickly. Selene sits on a premium leather lounge chair, crossing her legs as if settling into a throne. Her assistant hands her sparkling water. She takes it without thanks. She lowers her voice, but the venom stays. "I can't stand when people who don't belong pretend they do. It's insulting, like watching a stray dog try on a diamond collar." Her entourage laughs again, one laugh too loud. Selene's gaze sharpens to a blade. "Don't overlaugh, Evan. You sound desperate." He shuts up instantly. For a moment, silence overtakes the room. Then Selene speaks softly, almost thoughtfully, but with frozen contempt. "I built my world by eliminating weak links. That woman? She'd be crushed within a day in my circles, and someone should remind her of that." Her assistant swallows. "Selene, maybe we should just move on." Selene's smile hardens. "Never. I always finish what I start." Her statement hums through the lounge like static before a storm, but the storm isn't hers. Far down the concourse, Maya pauses outside a frosted glass security door, the one requiring badge clearance. She brushes her thumb over the metal card in her pocket. It's quiet, unremarkable, almost invisible. But this badge, Crimson Access, can shift entire infrastructures the moment it touches a scanner, and the world Selene thinks she owns is built on a foundation Maya controls. Maya breathes once, steady and calm. The humiliation has played its part. The silence has settled. The truth, patient and razor-sharp, is ready. She steps toward the scanner. The automatic doors slide open, and Maya steps back into the lounge, not because she chooses to return, but because two attendants, still following Selene's orders, escort her toward the public concourse. Their apologies hover in the air like thin, nervous shadows. Behind them, Selene raises her voice intentionally, ensuring everyone hears. "Oh, look, she's back, like a moth to a flame, or maybe a moth to a place she can't afford." Her entourage laughs, cameras already rolling again. Evan, the over-eager assistant, lifts his phone. "Selene, should I start a live stream? Title it, When Ambition Overestimates Itself?" Selene smirks. "No, call it something accurate. Maybe Premium Lounge Wildlife Sighting." Laughter erupts, high-pitched, artificial, eager for Selene's approval. Maya stops walking, not defiantly, not angrily, just calmly. Selene sees this and pounces like a predator sensing resistance. "Oh, don't look at me like you're confused. People like you wander into places they shouldn't, hoping no one notices. It's almost sweet if you ignore the delusion." One woman sitting nearby puts down her coffee and whispers to her husband, "This is too much. She's attacking her for nothing." Her husband replies under his breath, "Don't interfere. That's Selene Armitage. She destroys anyone who crosses her." Selene notices their whisper and smirks. "Go ahead, keep whispering. It makes no difference. If any of you had real power, you wouldn't be sitting here pretending to be invisible. Her cruelty has reach. She uses it freely." She steps closer to Maya, heels clicking like a countdown. You know what I can't stand? When someone shows up pretending they earned a spot they obviously didn't. Priority lounges are curated spaces. You don't curate confusion. She gestures at Maya's clothes, the simple sweater, the worn tote. Look at this. This is the outfit of someone who belongs behind a service counter, not in front of it. Maya's breath is steady. Her face remains composed. Inside, however, her heart tightens, not from Selene's insults, but from the onlooker's silence, the fear, the complicity, the stifled empathy. Selene lifts her hand toward the camera. Zoom in, Evan. Get a good shot. People need to understand what happens when someone trespasses into a world they didn't earn. She pauses dramatically. Sweetheart, you're not even in the right tax bracket to walk past this lounge, let alone sit in it. The room grows quieter, darker, heavier. Maya feels humiliation rise like bitter smoke, but she remembers the verse that steadied her moments earlier. In this moment, another one surfaces. Whoever exalts himself will be humbled, and whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Matthew 23:12. The words settle like a quiet shield inside her. Selena mistakes Maya's silence for defeat. She thrives on that misinterpretation. Don't worry, Selene continues loudly, ensuring cameras capture every syllable. Once they escort you out properly, you can return to whatever corner of the airport you actually belong in. Maybe the shuttle line, maybe the food court, somewhere fitting. Maya responds softly, I'm simply waiting for your performance to finish. Selene barks a laugh. Performance? Oh, sweetheart. This isn't a performance. This is public service, teaching boundaries to people who clearly never learned them. Corinne, Selene's assistant, shrinks in her chair, whispering, Selene, maybe enough. Selene whirls. Enough? I decide when enough is enough. And today, I'm in a very educational mood. She turns back to Maya and steps close. Too close. You walk like you matter. You speak like you matter. You even breathe like you think you matter. But let me clarify something you seemed confused about earlier. She leans in, voice dropping to a cold, cutting whisper. In my world, you are background noise, and I silence noise. Her entourage gasps, cameras flash, the humiliation peaks. The attendants look at Maya helplessly, unsure whether to intervene or stay obediently silent. A gate agent steps forward hesitantly. Ms. Armitage. Maybe we shouldn't film. Selene waves him off like swatting a fly. Oh, hush. I've built brands bigger than your entire salary. Stay in your lane. Then she points at Maya again. And you! Stop staring at me like you're someone important. You aren't. You never were. Silence breaks into small ripples around the room. A few passengers shift uncomfortably. A young man mutters, This is going too far. Selene hears him. Too far? This is barely a warm-up. People like her ruin spaces like these. Premium should stay premium. Standards matter. If we let anyone walk in, what's next? Let people board private aircraft too? She laughs sharply, oblivious to the irony. Maya tilts her head slightly, observing her. The hurt is real, but so is the clarity. Selene doesn't want equality. She wants hierarchy, a world where she sits at the top and crushes anyone she deems unworthy. Escort her through the main concourse, Selene commands. Make it clear she was removed. Teach others what happens when someone tries to fake belonging. The staff swallow hard, but they obey. As Maya is led outward again, Selene calls after her. If you want to pretend you belong somewhere, sweetheart, start small. Maybe a budget lounge. Work your way up slowly. It's cute when people try to climb, even if they were born at the bottom. The cameras catch everything. Her words, her tone, her pride. Maya pauses at the threshold of the lounge. She turns her head slightly. Not enough to challenge, but enough to witness. Selene lifts her chin, triumphant. Every insult spoken, every witness silent, every cruelty captured. Perfect, exactly as the world needed to see. Maya offers only one quiet sentence. Cruelty is loudest before it breaks, Selene scoffs. What's gonna break? Not me. I don't break, I break others. Maya slips her hand back into her pocket, feeling the cool metal of the crimson access badge. Soon, Selene will understand. It wasn't Maya who didn't belong in that lounge. It was Selene who didn't belong in the world she believed she controlled. If you have ever watched someone abuse their power just because they thought no one important was watching, then what happens next with Maya Brooks will make you hold your breath. Because the moment her badge touches that scanner, everything Selene believes about herself will shatter. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay with Dignity Voices to see how quickly arrogance collapses when truth walks into the room. The world recorded Maya's humiliation, and now the system is about to reveal the real identity of the woman Selene called Nobody. The attendants escorting Maya down the concourse walk stiffly, as if every step is an apology they can't say aloud. The air feels clearer out here, away from Selene's manufactured royalty, but the sting of public humiliation still lingers like smoke. "Ma'am, we just need to verify your status," one attendant murmurs. "Procedure." Maya nods gently. "Of course." They guide her to a frosted glass security checkpoint, authorized personnel only, with a biometric podium and badge scanner glowing faintly green. A security officer glances up. "What's the situation?" "Ms. Armitage reported a disruption," the attendant explains. "We're confirming this passenger's access level." The officer looks Maya over. Simple sweater, worn tote, calm posture. No hint of the world she commands. "Do you have ID, ma'am?" Maya reaches into her pocket and touches the cool metal of the badge, the unmarked silver rectangle that carries a weight almost no one understands. For a moment, she thinks of her first small hangar, the promise she made to protect people who were overlooked. This badge is the fulfillment of that promise. "Yes," she says quietly. "I do." She places it on the scanner. At first, nothing. Then the scanner emits a deep tone, not the soft beep of ordinary clearances, but something lower, resonant. The green light flips abruptly to crimson. The officer straightens. "Wait!" The nearest digital billboard flickers, then another. Then every screen in the concourse freezes, glitches, and bursts into the same red overlay. Passengers stop mid-step. Children point at the displays. Travelers lower their coffee cups. Phones lift instinctively to record. Across every screen, Crimson Access Protocol engaged Brooks Global Executive Priority Maya Brooks, owner, chairwoman. The attendants gasp. "Owner," one whispers. "Chairwoman?" The other breathes, face draining of color. The officer looks at Maya with a sudden, stunned reverence. I didn't realize." "You weren't supposed to," Maya answers softly. Inside the lounge, the red glow washes over marble floors and glass partitions. Selene's laughter stutters as she turns toward the screens. Her smile falls apart piece by piece. The woman she mocked, insulted, degraded, is not a nobody. She is the owner of Brooks Global Aviation, the company that powers half the private jets on the western seaboard. Selene takes one unsteady step forward. Her entourage stares at the screens, then at her, then at the glass wall where Maya stands calmly with the officer. The humiliation Selene intended collapses inward, a gravity she cannot fight. Back in the concourse, the officer hands Maya her badge with both hands, like returning a weapon he fears mishandling again. "Ms. Brooks, do you want to file a report? Should we summon executive security? Remove Ms. Armitage from the premises?" Maya shakes her head. "Not yet." Her voice contains no anger, no triumph, only an unsettling certainty. The crowd begins murmuring. "Is that really her? She's the aviation billionaire? But she was dressed so normal?" "Exactly." The attendants lower their eyes. "We escorted you out," one whispers. "We didn't know—" "That I was powerful?" Maya asks softly. "That I owned these systems, these gates, these aircraft?" The attendant swallows. "No, ma'am. That you were human enough to endure it quietly." Maya's eyes soften. "That's what you should have seen first." A pathway clears in the concourse as executive staff rush in, some recognizing her instantly, others piecing it together through the crimson screens still glowing above. "Ms. Brooks, your private hangar has been alerted," a manager says breathlessly. "We're ready to escort you." Maya nods, but glances back toward the lounge. Selene stands behind the glass, frozen, pale, trembling with a realization she cannot outrun. For a full heartbeat, the two women hold each other's gaze. Selene expects fury, a counterattack, a queen reclaiming her throne. But Maya offers none of these, just that same quiet, steady look she held when Selene called her nobody. Only now the entire airport knows that was a lie. Maya turns toward the private access corridor. "Please," she tells the officer, "lead the way." He walks ahead of her, posture straight, respectful. Staff line the route, stepping aside as if the air has shifted into something sacred. The concourse screens continue glowing crimson behind her, illuminating the truth Selene tried to bury. As Maya steps through the secure door, she hears whispers swelling around her. She stayed calm. She didn't yell once. That's real power. She let the system reveal her, not her ego. The door closes with a soft hiss. In the lounge, Selena's legs nearly give out. No one speaks to her. No one comforts her. Her entourage slowly backs away, unsure of the proximity damage. Her assistant Corinne whispers, trembling, "Selene, what have you done?" Selene doesn't answer, because the answer is all around her, glowing in crimson. She humiliated the woman who owns the skies. The executive corridor feels different from the concourse, quieter, colder, filled with a kind of reverent tension. Maya walks between polished walls lined with subtle security seals and embedded cameras, every detail designed for the highest level passengers, heads of state, Fortune 50 chairpersons, global royalty. But today, the corridor belongs to her. Behind her, the crimson screens still pulse throughout the main terminal, broadcasting a revelation Selene Armitage never imagined. Maya Brooks, owner, chairwoman Brooks Global Aviation. A title Selene thought belonged only to the kind of power she believed she embodied. Now, the truth is walking steadily toward the private hangar, and Selene, rattled, pale, desperate, scrambles to follow. She bursts from the lounge's glass doors, heels clattering on tile, her entourage trailing behind her in fractured silence. Corinne, her assistant, is the only one who dares speak. "Selene, maybe you should leave this alone." "Leave it?" Selene snaps, her voice cracking. "Do you understand what I just saw? That woman—" She can't finish the sentence. Saying it out loud will make it real, but reality is already unfolding without her permission. She storms through the terminal, ignoring the stares, the whispers, the phones recording her frantic steps. Moments ago, she reveled in those stares. Now she feels them judging, measuring, condemning. The inversion terrifies her. Ahead, Maya glides through the final checkpoint. The guards at the private access bay immediately stiffen, tapping their chests in a gesture reserved for top-tier executives. "Ms. Brooks," one says respectfully, "your aircraft is prepared. Should we authorize full escort?" "Not yet," Maya replies softly. "There is something that needs closure." The guard nods and steps aside. Maya pauses. The air hums with a strange tension, the kind that forms just before a truth cuts through the atmosphere and splits arrogance from reality. A verse rises in her thoughts, gentle, steady, necessary. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Proverbs 16:18. She allows it to settle in her breathing. Selene arrives breathless at the entrance to the executive bay, shoving aside a velvet rope in a panic. Two guards step forward instinctively. "Ms. Armitage, this area is restricted." "Move," she hisses. "Do you know who I am?" The guards exchange a look, one that carries no fear now. "Ma'am, this space is reserved for Crimson access holders only." Selene freezes. Her voice falters. I need to speak with her." "Her?" one guard repeats. "You mean Ms. Brooks?" Selene's throat tightens. Hearing the name spoken with reverence is a blow sharper than any insult she delivered earlier. Before she can protest, Maya steps gently into view. Selene's breath catches. Maya stands in the soft white lighting of the private bay, no longer overshadowed, no longer obscured by simple clothes or silence. She does not need jewelry, a title card, or a throne. Her presence alone is authority. Selene tries to compose herself, straightening her coat, raising her chin, the same posture she used to crush others. But it doesn't work on Maya. It never did. Selene forces a shaky laugh. "This is unbelievable," she says. "You could have told me who you were." Maya tilts her head. "You never asked." Selene blinks. "I would have treated you differently," she insists, desperation creeping beneath her voice. Maya steps closer, her heels silent against the polished floor. "Yes," she says softly. "That is the problem." Her words land with precise accuracy. Not cruel, not loud, but irrefutable. Selene opens her mouth to argue, but Maya raises a hand gently. The gesture is not dismissive. It is merciful. "You judged me by my clothes, my bag, my skin." Maya's voice remains steady. "You decided I was beneath you before I said a single word." "That's not—" Selene stumbles. "You don't understand how these spaces work. People try to sneak in all the time. I was protecting standards." "Your standards?" Maya says quietly. "Not integrity." Selene's facade cracks further. Look, I didn't know. You have to understand that in my world—" "In your world," Maya interrupts, "power means permission." The lights overhead reflect in Maya's calm eyes. The eyes Selene mocked, the eyes she called delusional. Now those eyes see straight through her. Maya's voice lowers. "If I were nobody, you wouldn't care how you treated me. If I were somebody, you would perform kindness for advantage." Selene swallows. I never meant—" "You meant every word," Maya says gently. "That's why they mattered." The guard standing nearby looked down, discomforted by the truth. Selene's entourage remains silent, shattered from their former arrogance. Maya steps even closer, her presence grounding the room. "For people who believe power looks like you," she says, "silence is mistaken for weakness. But real power doesn't need noise." Selene breaks. "I made a mistake," she whispers. "No," Maya replies. "You revealed yourself." Selene wipes her eyes quickly, but she cannot hide the tremor in her voice. "Please, is there anything I can do to fix this?" Maya looks toward the massive private hangar door, where her 22B aircraft waits, engines quiet, lights soft, crew ready. Then she looks back. "Yes," Maya says. "You can learn." Selene blinks, confused. Maya gestures around her. "Look at the staff who fear you, the people who enable you, the silence you create. Power is not measured by who kneels before you, Selene. It is measured by who stands because of you." Selene's eyes lower. Maya continues, voice still gentle. "I am not here to embarrass you. The world will take care of that on its own. I am here to show you the mirror you refuse to look into." Her words are firm, but not cruel, a grace Selene has never offered others. Maya steps back. "This is the first time you saw me," she says, "not because of who I am, but because of who you are afraid to be." Selene's breath shudders. Maya turns toward the hangar. With a soft hum, the massive doors begin to open. Light spills in, bright, warm, unearned by Selene's presence. Maya gives her one final glance. "Identity is not revealed by screens or titles," Maya says. "It is revealed by how you treat the unseen." She walks forward, her silhouette framed by the glow of the jet waiting for her. Selene remains frozen, stripped of privilege, exposed by truth, left with nothing but the weight of her own actions. Maya does not look back. She doesn't need to. The reveal is complete. If you've ever wished that justice could unfold without shouting, without violence, without revenge, only truth, then what Maya does next will make your heart rise. Her power doesn't roar. It rewrites the room. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and stay with Dignity Voices to witness how justice is delivered when the woman once humiliated becomes the one holding the final decision. Selene thinks the worst is over. But in Scene 6, Maya activates a justice protocol that reaches far beyond this airport, straight into the foundation of Selene's empire. The private hangar hums with low, distant machinery. Soft amber lights glow across the polished runway floor, illuminating the sleek silhouette of Maya's Brooks Global X9 Sovereign jet, its silver body glinting like a blade sharpened by silence. The moment Maya steps into the hangar, every technician, pilot, and crew member straightens with instinctive respect. No one salutes. That isn't her culture, but all movement around her becomes more deliberate, more purposeful. She is home now, not in a lounge, not in a premium lane, here, in the belly of an empire she built. Selene, trembling but trying to hide it, hovers several paces behind her, unsure whether to approach or flee. Maya glances at her deputy chief pilot, Renee Torres, who has served with her for 12 years. Renee steps forward, offering Maya her encrypted tablet. "Ms. Brooks," she says softly, "we've already received over 50 alerts. The concourse footage has gone viral. The board of directors is requesting a briefing." Maya nods without looking down. "They'll have one soon. For now, prepare the Sovereign for departure in 40 minutes. Renee heads toward the aircraft, motioning for the crew to accelerate preparations. Selene watches, blood draining from her face. She's beginning to understand something she had never once questioned. Her world only felt powerful because it had never collided with real power. Maya unlocks the encrypted tablet with her fingerprint. A soft blue light washes over her features as the secure network opens. She swipes to the contracts and compliance interface. At the top of the screen is a portfolio labeled Armitage Lux Partnership. Pending launch license source, Brooks Global Aviation. Selene flinches at the sight of her own name. Maya looks up at her. "You were about to launch a luxury jet collection," Maya says quietly. "Brooks Global supplies the engineering and avionics for that line." Selene tries to recover her voice. I had no idea. My team handles acquisitions. I've never seen your name on any of the contracts." "Because you never looked," Maya replies. She taps the screen. A secure line dials. After one ring, a man answers. "Maya, I saw the crimson trigger on the system. Tell me what you need." This is Victor Lansing, Brooks Global's general counsel, a man with a voice smooth as tempered steel. "I need a full freeze on the Armitage Lux license," Maya says calmly. "Effective immediately. Place a compliance hold. Non-negotiable." Selene's breath catches. Victor doesn't hesitate. "Done. Should I notify her board?" "Yes, and release the ethics statement draft, the one for incidents involving partner misconduct." "Understood. Consider it activated." The call ends. Selene takes one fearful step forward. "Maya, please. You can't do that. Hundreds of staff depend on my launch. Factories, designers. You should have thought of them," Maya answers, "before you built your success on fear instead of leadership." Selene's jaw quivers. Maya hands the tablet to a nearby officer and walks toward the aircraft, her heels echoing lightly across the hangar. Every sound seems amplified, the hum of engines warming, the click of her steps, the rapid beat of Selene's panic. Notifications flood Selene's phone, hundreds, then thousands. Her social media team. "We can't control the clip. It's everywhere. Comments at 2.3 million in under an hour." Her board. "Emergency meeting. Where are you?" Investors. "License suspension. Explain immediately." Her PR director. "Selene, this is catastrophic. You insulted the owner of your primary aircraft source. This may trigger contractual collapse." Selene's chest tightens. "Maya, please. You're destroying everything." Maya stops walking and turns. "No, Selene. I'm not destroying anything. I'm simply removing my company from supporting a system built on arrogance." Selene's face crumples. "You don't understand. My father, he built my name on dominance. That's all I know." "And it's time to learn something else," Maya says. Her voice is not angry. It's not mocking. It's simply true. A large wall screen flickers on. Brooks Global's board interface, activated remotely. Director Z, appear one by one. Maya, one says, "We've reviewed the footage. Do you want a formal retaliation protocol enacted?" Maya shakes her head. "Absolutely not." Selene looks up in surprise. Maya continues, "Retaliation is for people who are insecure about their position. I am not." The board members nod. "But," Maya adds, "activate Contract Integrity Protocol 7. Any partner whose leadership displays unethical conduct that could damage Brooks Global's reputation must undergo review." Selene pales. Protocol 7 is infamous, known for dismantling partnerships without a single lawsuit. The chairman speaks. "Protocol 7 will halt all joint ventures until the review concludes." Maya nods. "Good." Selene's legs weaken. She grips the nearest railing. In a shaky whisper, "Maya, you're going to ruin me." Maya steps closer, her voice soft but unshakable. "No, Selene, I'm going to reveal you. The difference matters." A new notification appears on Selene's phone. Heritage Lux stock, 11%, 19%, 28%. Then, headline, "Billionaire Selene Armitage under fire for harassing aviation." CEO trending, "Maya Brooks writes you quiet power. Benignity in the skies." Selene slumps against the wall. "What am I supposed to do now?" She chokes. Maya looks at her, not with cruelty, but with the calm of someone who long ago learned the difference between authority and ego. "You lead," Maya says, "for the first time, without fear, without cruelty, without expecting the world to bow because you never learned how to stand." Selene's eyes brim with tears. "I don't know how." "You start," Maya says, "by acknowledging who you've hurt." The hangar lights brighten, the Sovereign's crew signaling takeoff readiness. Maya steps back toward her jet. Her posture remains calm, her voice even. "Selene, this isn't the end of you. It's the end of the version of you that believed dominance was power." Selene whispers, Will you help me make this right?" Maya pauses. "Help isn't given to protect your empire," she says softly. "Help is given when the heart is willing to change." Selene closes her eyes. A single tear falls. "I want to change." Maya studies her and finds no defiance left. "Then this is your beginning," Maya says, "not your ending." She turns toward the aircraft steps as the engines ignite gently behind her. The hangar fills with light. Selene remains standing in the glow, shaken, humbled, learning in real time what power actually looks like. By the time Maya's jet engines begin their soft, pre-flight whir, the outside world has already caught fire. Selene Armitage stands alone in the private hangar, her phone vibrating violently in her hand. She doesn't want to look, but her empire is blinking into crisis whether she sees it or not. A notification flashes across the screen. Heritage Lux stock, but 37% breaking CEO. Selene Armitage faces ethical firestorm opinion. A billionaire bullies the wrong woman. Trending number 1, race dignity over privilege, Maya Brooks. Selene feels her throat tighten, breath catch, chest constrict. People everywhere, millions, are watching the moment she believed was harmless domination. It is no longer content. It is evidence. Behind her, the hangar doors remain open, just enough for her to see Maya boarding slowly, speaking quietly with her crew, touching a pilot's shoulder in gratitude. Even in power, she remains human, something Selene has never understood how to be. A verse Maya once heard in childhood rises in her memory as she steps inside the jet. Therefore, whoever humbles himself like a child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 18:4. Humility, leadership, responsibility. All qualities Selene has spent her life avoiding, and Maya has spent her life embodying. Outside, the sky is streaked with evening gold. Inside the hangar, Selene scrolls through a stream of messages. Her board. Emergency session in 30 minutes. Attendance required. Why didn't you disclose your conduct issues? How could you antagonize a primary supplier? Her investors. Licenses frozen? Address this immediately. We may withdraw. Her PR director. Selene, this is not containable. You need a public apology. Her hands shake. Selene Armitage, whose empire was built on fear, now faces a fear she cannot manipulate, spend, or intimidate her way out of. She looks up at Maya again. Everything in Selene wants to shout, demand, reclaim control. But something inside her has cracked open, a space she has never allowed, and through that fracture, truth has begun to seep in. Selene walks toward Maya's jet, slowly, hesitantly, not with entitlement, not with arrogance, but with something resembling surrender. Two Brooks Global guards step forward to block her. I need to speak with her, Selene says, voice trembling. The guards exchange a look. One taps an earpiece. A moment later, he nods. Ms. Brooks will allow it. Selene steps through. Maya stands at the base of the jet stairs, framed by the soft glow of the aircraft lights. She is calm, composed, untouchable, not because of wealth, but because of character. Selene stops several feet away. Her voice comes out fractured. I don't know where to start. Start with honesty, Maya replies gently. Selene's eyes glisten. My entire life, I thought power meant control, dominance, being untouchable. It doesn't, Maya says softly. Power is measured by the safety people feel around you, not the fear. Selene wipes her cheek quickly, embarrassed. I didn't know any other way. You can learn. Selene lets out a breath that sounds like breaking. It's too late for me. It's not, Maya says. But the cost of change is accepting what your old ways have caused. Selene closes her eyes. Memories flash. Staff flinching, assistants trembling, designers crying, interns quitting, even her own board avoiding conflict with her ego. Her empire was built on polished floors and broken people, and now it is collapsing for the same reason. Another notification appears. Errant Mage Lux Partnership suspended pending ethics review. Protocol 7 initiated. Selene feels her knees weaken. Everything I built is falling apart. No, Maya says. Everything you forced is falling apart. What you build next can be different. Selene looks up at her, startled by the compassion in Maya's voice. You're not angry? Maya smiles faintly. Anger is heavy. Justice is lighter. Selene exhales shakily. What do I do now? How do I fix this? You begin, Maya says, with truth. Selene nods slowly, letting the words settle. Tell your board the reality. Take responsibility. Stop blaming staff or circumstances. Acknowledge what you created. Selene swallows hard. And then, lead with humility, earn trust instead of demanding it. Build an empire that doesn't tremble when you walk in, but strengthens because you do. Selene looks at her hands, hands that once pointed, commanded, humiliated. What if I fail? She whispers. Maya's eyes soften. Failure is only final when pride refuses to learn. A long silence rests between them. Selene finally manages. Thank you for not destroying me. Maya studies her, searching for sincerity. I'm not interested in your downfall, Maya says. I'm interested in your transformation. Selene's lips tremble. I don't deserve kindness. This isn't kindness, Maya replies. This is responsibility. Power comes with stewardship, even toward those who wrong you. Selene nods, tears falling quietly. For the first time, she looks small, not in worth, but in ego. And sometimes, smallness is the one doorway to growth. A soft chime sounds from the jet. Final boarding call. Maya ascends the stairs slowly. At the top, she pauses and speaks over her shoulder. Selene. Selene lifts her face. There is a better version of you waiting, Maya says. Go meet her. The engines ignite in a rumbling chorus. Selene steps back, shielding her eyes from the glare, watching the woman she once mocked now rise, literally, into the sky. Not as a conqueror, not as a destroyer, but as a leader whose dignity exposes the poverty of arrogance. Maya's jet lifts, smooth and silent, cutting through the fading gold sky. Selene stands alone on the hangar floor, her empire trembling behind her, her future uncertain. but her heart, for the first time, open. 3 weeks pass. Airports return to their rhythms. Headlines cool. The viral storm softens from a wildfire to glowing embers tucked away in the corners of the internet. People still whisper about it sometimes, quietly, reverently. The woman Selene tried to humiliate. She was the owner all along. Did you see how calm she stayed? That's what real power looks like. But Maya Brooks does not follow the commentary. She doesn't need the world to retell her story. She lives by a different measurement. Dignity unshaken. Tonight, Maya returns to the same airport. This time without disguise, without incognito clothing, without a reason to test anyone. She comes simply to reflect. The evening glow spills like honey across the floor. Quiet footsteps echo against the terminal windows. Travelers rush past her, unaware that the woman walking calmly in their midst commands a fleet of innovation stretching across continents. Maya stops at the exact lounge she was escorted out of. The glass door slides open automatically. It feels different now, not because of the luxury or the silence, but because of the shift in energy. The staff stand taller, gentler, more aware. A new policy sign sits near the entrance. All passengers deserve respect. Status does not define humanity. A ripple of warmth touches her chest. The lounge manager, a middle-aged man with tired but kind eyes, approaches her immediately. "Ms. Brooks, welcome back." His voice carries no fear, only humility. Maya smiles softly. "Thank you." He gestures to a seat by the window. "If you ever need anything, we are here." "Just some quiet," she replies. "Quiet is enough." As she sits, she watches planes rise and descend, streaking across dusk like silver strokes of purpose. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the airport, the public concourse, Selene Armitage stands in line at a modest cafe. No entourage, no cameras, no assistants scrambling behind her. Just Selene, learning how to exist without a throne. She wears a simple blouse instead of couture. Her hair is tied back loosely. She looks smaller, not in height, but in ego. When the barista greets her, Selene startles slightly, unsure how to respond without commanding. A black tea, please." Her voice is quiet, uneven. The barista smiles. "Of course. Great choice." Selene nods, clutching the strap of her bag. As she waits, she spots the sign above the counter. "Kindness is free. Cruelty costs everything." It hits her deeper than she expects. Her phone buzzes. A message from her board. "Ethics review approved. Reforms required. Partnership with Brooks Global reinstated pending completion." Selene exhales, relief mixed with responsibility. She is being given something she never gave to others. Another chance. Later that evening, as Maya leaves the lounge, she walks through the public concourse. Her steps are slow, reflective. As she rounds the corner, she sees Selene, standing alone near the cafe, studying her tea as if trying to understand a new world through a paper cup. Their eyes meet. Selene stiffens. Her instinct is to retreat, but she forces herself to stay rooted. Maya approaches, calm, steady, patient. Selene swallows hard. "I didn't think I'd see you again." "I didn't plan to," Maya replies gently. But life has a way of offering grace when we least expect it. Selene looks down. "I'm still learning." "We all are," Maya says. Silence settles between them. Not tense, but clean. A space carved out for possibility. Selene musters the courage to speak. "I started meeting with my staff. Actually listening. The things they were afraid to tell me?" She shakes her head. "I built a kingdom of fear." "And now?" Maya asks. "I want to build a place people don't run from," Selene whispers. "A place where no one is humiliated the way I humiliated you." "That is the right beginning," Maya says. "But beginnings require consistency." Selene nods, absorbing the words. "I'm not asking for forgiveness," she adds quietly. "Just direction." Maya regards her kindly. "Forgiveness is not earned. Transformation is." Something softens in Selene's posture. Maya ends the moment with a simple sentence. Gentle, honest, true. Go build the version of yourself you were always meant to be. Selene nods, blinking away the sting in her eyes. Maya turns and walks toward the private terminal, not away from Selene, but forward, toward her own path. And Selene stays where she is, holding her tea, holding her breath, holding for the first time, hope. Outside, the night welcomes Maya with a warm breeze. The lights of the city glow beneath her jet's wings as she boards once more. Before stepping inside, she pauses to look at the runway, the same ground where her dignity was tested and where grace now stands victorious. She whispers softly, "Justice doesn't shout." It lands softly. The jet door closes, the engines rise, and Maya Brooks ascends into the night. Not just powerful, but peaceful. Maya's journey ends, not with the roar of revenge, but with the quiet strength of transformation. She restores dignity not only for herself, but for a woman who once used her power to harm. In doing so, she proves that the greatest victories are not over others, but over the darkness within us. If you've ever believed that dignity can rise above arrogance, that grace can outshine cruelty, then Maya's story is your reminder. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay with Dignity Voices for more cinematic stories of justice, courage, and compassion. Power without humility collapses. Power with compassion rebuilds. Maya didn't win by shouting. She won by standing firm in truth. And her grace changed a world Selene believed would always bend to her will. In life, we all meet people like Selene, loud, certain, untouchable. But stories like Maya's remind us, true strength is calm, consistent, and rooted in love. May we learn to walk with dignity when others try to strip it. And may we become the kind of leaders who lift others instead of crushing them.